Good evening, Santi Savvy here. Let's paint a turtle. Let's just get right into it. I have my water paint. I filled them all up. I just let it open overnight, left it open overnight for them to dry. They didn't dry anywhere. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. I need to get myself some bigger pencils, but whatever. Probably have some somewhere in the couch upstairs under the cushions. So I'm just gonna start. I'm looking here at my proportions. Okay, so if you look at the size of the paper that this is, where it's almost touching each corner, so that means it's going to be pretty big. Like the fin will be about this big, and it comes all the way up to like a third of the paper, so it comes all the way up to here. And then this part, the back was like big, and the head up. I made that not gonna work. Let's do this part here first. I have to have the head big like that, and the mouth like that. Nope, doesn't go like that. It goes in like that, and then it has a neck part. Just do it very lightly because when I'm erasing, I don't want to see lines. Okay. Hopefully you can see it okay. Maybe let's get better lighting in here. How's that? Okay, that's okay. And my back has a lump, and then it goes straight. Okay, my fin will be like here. Wavy. No, that's not right. Not right proportioned. I'm gonna put this fin goes down here more. And then come up here. So this part here is, it's got a lump like that. Wavy. Like that. Now the body goes here and will come down like that. Okay. Now this part, the other fin here is right at the neck. So I'm going to bring it out, and it's going to come right down. It's different than the other one. I don't like that very much. Let me see here. I made that way too big. I think that's why. Come down like here. It's gonna be a lot shorter than the other one because it's further. Okay, so let's fix that part. That's why we're doing gently with the pencil. So this might be tricky to do, but okay. Now the mouth comes here, full jaw, and then has its pointy mouth here. Okay, petals, blankets in the way, and let's do big. Got a half a circle here, half there, like a human eyeball. It makes a circle. Do turtles actually look like this? I don't know. Like, okay, so it makes like an eye. And then up here, it still continues, and it's got like a eyelid, and it opens down here and has another eyelid. I got a sneeze coming on here. Make a little, this part here we're going to keep white. Okay, now for the head, we'll do like as if it's like a giraffe. We'll do like big spots, almost like it's puzzle. Fill a spot here. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just filling in funny shapes. Here, I'm gonna make a big one like that, and one here. Oops. And then I'll make a big one over here. This one will be like half on its head, not a full circle because it looks like it's gonna go the other side. This one here, I'll make one big one here. I want to make his mouth here. It's kind of like a bird beak almost. Comes up here. And then I'll make another one of those loopy doopies. There, that's for his face. And then let's see his arm. Oh, his fin. Lock this here, make sure it's okay. Locked. Every time I move it, I have to make sure I'm locking it. I'm not sure. So now here there's like a different section. There's big spots, little spots all in the middle, and then big ones here. So I'm going to start by making some big ones here. So I'm just making a bunch of big ones. All the way tip. Okay. And then I'll make some big ones here. I'm going to have them going off to the edge so they're not full circles. So make sure you don't go past the line. Big ones here. And like that all the way down. Some big one here. There. Now, just start filling it in. Like here. Okay, now they start getting smaller. Filling in spaces. Okay, that's how I'm going to do that. And then the back here has, up here, has this big back shell. It comes down here, up like that, like a backpack. I'm going to zoom out. And then I'm going to, has one shell here. It's these things, but it's going to be a lot bigger and they have to have straighter lines this time. This one I'm going to make that shape. And then I'll make another one. Space between. It's a big one. And then here I'll have shape. Shape. That. And okay. And here I'm going to make a double layer on this shell. Looks good to me. And here I'm going to make ziggly lines. Just a whole bunch of ziggly lines. Oh boy. All the way from his spot here all the way to the lip. Not too hard, but this will be like, so here he's got, I'll show you. Right here, he's got wrinkles on his neck. So I'm going to try to do that, and I'll show you right here how I'll do it. I'm going to, it's dark. Make like, it's just squirrely lines. It's like they're coming off of each other. There ain't no rhyme, ain't no reason. All the way down. Here he's got some lines going to his mouth. My pencil's not very sharp anymore. Here, make it wrinkly. Doing this all with my pencil, and then I'll go in with paint after. So I'm just kind of make wrinkly, curly hair. Wrinkly, there. Look, just throwing some lines in there, okay? And this part here, I want to make it, I made it dark. I want his fin to come out like that. Okay. Then under here, let's make some small ones under his belly. I'm making them light. I just make sure you know it's underneath the fin, under his belly. Like that. Okay. There, I'm done. Here, I'll do a slight line just to know where my shading is. And, well, I think up here, I'm actually going to round in it. Make some round, like eyelashes looking. Okay, there. That's that. Now I'm going to paint it. I'm going to take my medium brush. And it's white, it's clean, and it's full. And what I'm going to do, this is different than the other paintings I've done. I'm going to start by squirting some water in my, I'm going to start by just squirting. So this here is an old color that I had. It was from blue and green that I used on a lighthouse. And grass, it's just blue and green. And first, I'm not using paint. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure my brush is wet. Squirt some water out so my tip of my brush is wet. And I'm going to fill in my squares with water. I'll show you what it does when I get my paint. Just touch it and it will flow. I want to mix in my colors. So I'm going to use some blue and some green, and I'm just going to let the water take it places, okay? So we'll do that. I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm going to do that with all of them. I washed my brush. I'm just putting water in it. It's a little bit blue left in there, but that's fine. Okay, squirt. You can squirt one drip. If I can. See, I squirted a drip. Drip, drip, drip. Squirt a drip on. Okay, now just move that drip around. Move it around so you're not squeezing paint out every time. Get the water good and wet. We'll do this section for now. Okay, this is sufficiently wet. If you have a good lighting where you could see the water, then where it's shiny, then obviously, well, that means it's wet. I want some green and blue. Just mix green and blue. Every square is going to be different. Just gonna put it darker. You'll see after we'll go in with some different shading. And it will dry very cool. add some darker blue in there because I thought that would be pretty. This is Prussian blue that I'm adding. Oh, I'm going out of my picture, sorry. And some more here. Okay, so that's good. Once we let the watercolor dry, like it'll, something in there. It'll just dry in a really cool pattern. If you just let it sit and dry. If you put way too much water, it obviously takes longer to dry. And if your paper is very thin, that also takes a lot more time to dry. If you got way too much water, then just take your cloth and just like gently touch it and it'll pick it up. See? Picks it up. Should be getting more rain in there for that turtle. After we'll go in and get all those little details there. Okay, so I'm going to wash my brush because I did that section. Wash it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but wash it. Get a little drip on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drip, drip on each of these. Every little spot. I'm going to use my smaller paintbrush for these though. Okay. Get my smaller one. See? Make sure it's clean. Nope, it wasn't. And now I'm going to, with my light, I can see where it's shiny. Might not be able to see very well in the camera, but try to get inside each gray line. Try to not go out. Or else they'll just spread. Okay, and you gotta do it fast or else it'll dry up and then it won't pick up the water when I want it to later. Okay, I can just do one section at a time, but I'm gonna do the whole thing. Okay. Over here, over there. Might be dry by the time I'm done. Maybe I'll just get some in there. Okay, hold on. Okay. Getting some green, some blue. Oh, see, it's already drying. A little drip in there. Because I want it to be wet so that it'll dry in a pretty watercolor, like spread, like it'll just make pretty colors and patterns when it dries on its own, like the water dripped in there. Colors. I didn't make it perfectly straight here, but it's okay because it's got a wrinkly arm. This is not wet anymore. Oops, squeeze my paintbrush into it. You gotta be careful when you squeeze your paintbrush right onto your painting because some of them kind of squirt drips everywhere and look, you know, don't want always to have drips. Okay. All right, we're just, you know, let's do these ones out here. We could make the, because I'll show you the picture in a second. So the picture here has, they're a bit lighter on the edge and darker up here, so that's what we'll do. We're just gonna, I'm just blending what I had in my brush here. I'm not even getting more paint. got a lot, so I'll spread it into the other one. Oh, it's got a lot of water. They're filling all of these. When it's completely dry, we can go in and detail, like put a light layer. Actually, it's actually white on the inside of it in my picture, so get some more. There is beauty in imperfection. So if not every little white little spot is filled, it's okay, it's pretty. Unless you're doing realism, then obviously you would take your time and, oh, forget about this big one up here. How did I do that? I'm going to go right into my green, into my blue. And I'm doing green, blue, squirt some water in my green and blue. This is Prussian blue, and this is, I think this one was my olive green. I want it dark on the edges here. Oh, I picked up a lot of drip in there. I like how I'm dry really pretty. Right into there again. I slowly squeezed it. Okay. Uh-oh. I'm gonna look. I'll show you when I squeeze it, it drips, explodes, little drips everywhere. So I don't want to squeeze on my paper. I'm gonna wash my brush completely. I don't want paint here, so I'm gonna put clean water. Paint, and then take all the paint off because I didn't want any paint off of it for now. Alright, now let's add some more into these. Just gonna go on the edges. And a lot of water on my brush with these. There, just kind of going in them and making lines is what I'm doing. I really need to buy myself a coffee warmer. It just gets cold so fast. I had one, but it was on my couch, and one of my sons, my littlest one, he turned it on and put a pillow on it, and it totally melted the couch and the pillow, burnt the pillow, and it was smoking in the house. And yeah, that was not a good idea to have that close to where kids could play. And my little Shih Tzu dog was just sitting right beside the pillow, no worry in the world, and totally burnt a hole in my couch. So that could have been bad. But I'm glad the house didn't go on fire. Okay. So now I'm gonna squirt. Oh man, it squirts everywhere. I can't be squirting on there. Squirt bunch here. Oops. Getting a bunch of water in there. And I'm gonna water this underarm here. Not the body, very gently. Oh my gosh, I'm not going into my picture again. Under the neck, very gentle. And then doing the whole fin. A bunch of water, and then make it nice and green and brown right up there, make it shady. Just adding green and blue. Oops, push it back in. Bottom. Getting some more of that green and blue because I want it to be very dark here. Darker it is, deeper it looks. Very slowly drip water in here. Get the cool effect I want. Very slowly. If I squeeze it too fast, it'll make bubbles everywhere. There you go. Okay, I didn't want it that dark down here, so I'm gonna lift some up. All right, so here he's got like a beige body. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna zoom out like that and lock it. And I'm gonna get, I'm gonna use my other palette over here just because it's already like a beige and yellow color. I squeeze that. So that's just yellow and probably yellow ochre. Get some yellow ochre like that. I'm gonna add some brown in it. Brown and yellow. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay. So very lightly on there, not a whole lot. Now don't touch any of the blue. It's not dry yet. You don't want to touch the blue. But we're gonna go under the mouth. Okay. Just gonna color in all that skin. Very going around it. I'm gonna leave that spot white just because I'm not waiting for it to dry yet. So arm here. I'm realizing now that I'm doing this that this part here isn't really supposed to be wrinkled. It's supposed to have another one of these things. Another blue. So I'm going to go in there with my other paintbrush that I had, my blue and my green, and I'm going to paint that blue and green. There, for now, it's good. Okay, and then I'm going to go back into that yellow. I don't like when there's There, had a piece of eraser in there. Okay, how this is wrinkle. Okay, I accidentally touched the blue here, so I'm going to take my paper towel and push really hard to dry that spot so that it's not seeping into the yellow. Now I got... Oh. Darn it. There. Go, shoot. There. Take my yellow. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to go right under the dryer. Make it darker. Is in between here has all yellow, so we're gonna go in between. It doesn't matter if it gets in there because inside the circles, because we're gonna paint when it's dry. We're gonna paint right over in the circles. And the nose. It's good. Might as well do the around the eye here. And a tiny bit into that white eyeball part. Okay, now use some of that. I should wait for this to really dry though. Can't really. I'm gonna put some of that yellow into my fin, into my blue bottom blue ones here. Not perfect even everywhere, just like splash some in there. Okay. There. And some of these ones make it look like it's blending. There. And that's good. Now I gotta wait for this to dry. Now I'm going to show you what I have. I have this embossing heat tool, okay? It's made for embossing. It's like you put this powder and then you press this, and it's extremely hot air, like hotter than a blow dryer. And it would melt that powder, like sparkly stuff, into like a solid oh my goodness, I can't speak. So sometimes I use this instead of a blow dryer. Blow dryer is very powerful wind unless you press it on light to dry it, or you just leave it to dry. And when you leave it to dry naturally, it just makes really pretty like watercolor patterns like that. And I think that's really pretty. Water move around a bit. Woo! So I'm gotta decide if I want to let it dry on its own or use this. So I think I'm gonna use this and I'll show you what it does. So I don't want to put it too close. This is for here. And it's just drying it. So I'll pause it. There, I zoomed it in so you can see it drying slowly. That would look kind of cool. Dry! It's almost dry. There's one little guy left. There you go. Now it's dry. And the whole turtle is dry. Alright, so I dried it completely because I was too impatient. I'm going to get some more yellow ochre. And I'm going to dab it into my other palette here. And then I have some dark brown. Mix it in there. I just want more of that beigey color. So that's it. Yellow ochre and okay. Now I'm going to go inside the turtle shell. This one. Inside the line. See how it's not perfect here and stuff? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's just part of watercoloring, is making it not perfect, and see how the water blends and stuff, and I think that's pretty. Up here is the beige, but I'm also going to add some of that blue that we had still wet from earlier. Comes all the way to the top here. And under here as well. So wet the underbelly and get some of that, oops, into the brown, blue, and green. Make it a nice line. There, I'm just doing dots. Now, I want it really dark under there because that's under its belly, it's shading. Here I'm going to darken this line as well. Oops. I went into the beige by accident. This is the Prussian blue. I want it really dark under for my shading, really at the bottom. Okay, and the turtle's face here actually has black face. Oops. All right, I cannot zoom. Has a black face, but I don't want black, 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 black. So I'm going to take black, just the normal black, put it down there, black, and I'm going to mix it with blue. So it doesn't make such black. It's like a bluish black. Get a drip of water in there. Okay. Now I'm going to go right into the face here with that color. Make sure the face is dry or else it'll spread the black into that beige. Oops, I just put my finger right into that. There you can use my smaller brush. But this is okay for now. This is a big circle. Okay. Back some more. Nice lines. Keep your lines. So I'm still using always the same one, but it's getting lighter. So I'm going to go back at some more blue and some more black, just to add more darkness. Okay, here too we can add more dots of darkness. Here. Add some more. The color is fading. See, it's getting lighter, even if I'm. All right. Bring the line up. Oh, that's too big. My paintbrush is too big. Take my thin brush Just there. Okay. Now I'm going to take black. I'm going to zoom into the eye here. Now I want black, and I'm going to make my line. I'm going to go around that white spot. My lines, my circles, so I know what to paint in. Right in there. Perfect lines. Okay, fill it in. Okay. It's not going to be perfect here. Okay, done that eye. Now its body has, like this one here, its body has little freckles all in there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead with some really light blue, put a black, gray, add a lot of water in there. Like it's very light. Because I'm gonna make shadows. Here, I'll zoom that and I'll lock that. I'm gonna go along the lines, the wrinkle lines. Gently with that gray color. The bottom of the neck here will be darker and gray lines. Not perfect, but make it darker here. There. And I'm going to get that black and do little dots, polka dots all over. It's going up into there, but it's okay. I think it's going to be pretty. Some can connect. Whoa, that's too big. Okay. Dots all the way up here. I'm going to be patient and just do a bunch of dots. Give me some more black. You can even do this in layers. On the head. Okay. For now, those dots are good. I'll zoom out. Whoa, my camera fell. Okay. I had to move my cell phone because he was almost dead. So now it's like tight on an angle here. I'm not holding super well. That's okay. Wash your brush. I'm going to take some of that black gray and like make the tip of the nose darker a bit. Connect that a bit. Okay. The eye has some, I'm going to get some orange, lightly color some orange. some orange, squeeze some water, but wash your brush. Some orange. Okay. Some orange up here. And its eyelid. Get some darker orange to make some shading. I don't think I want it too orange, so I'm going to add some brown. Darker shading. Orange and brown. Make it nice like that. Some more brown, dark brown. Okay. There. With the eye. It's actually interesting now that I notice. I don't know why I didn't notice that. The eye should be lighter on the inside and dark on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the eye here. I'm going to pick up water. I'm going to put some water in there and swirl my brush into it. Little circles all over that black that I put in there. I'm going to push down hard and pick it up. So kind of looks cooler anyway. Okay, all the way. Push down, pick it up. Make sure your cloth is clean where you're pushing it down. So I'm happy with that. Maybe a bit more here. Just getting it wet and pushing it down. There. Now I'm going to get black right into the black. Well, that's not dry yet. So, oop, sorry. This will be dark black on the outskirts of the eyeball. Okay. And here too. Interesting eyeball of a turtle. Okay. There. And then it also has that skin on the inside is black. And the outside line would be black, very thin line. Not enough water in there. See how it's spreading like that? Maybe if I turn this light off, it could be. Nope, it was better with it. There. Some more black into these. All right. All right, we're going on to almost 15 minutes. So I'm going to get some blue, wipe that out, and I want shade, black, some blue, black, just some shade right under that mouth. Make a perfect line so you're not, so you can tell that it's actually a lip there. And then darker. You got to be able to see that there's perfect. And I'll wash my brush off and I'll blend that down a bit. Okay. Happy with that. And then here I feel like I'm going to do blue line here. Blue line. And we'll get some of that old brown yellow we had, add water into it. Let's get some more inside cracks. This one actually has orange on the tip. This here had some blue polka dots too. And the inside of the fin had some polka dots. There's a bit of that lime green in there, just a touch. Okay, maybe just a bit of yellow on the tip as well. Just putting some darker yellow shading. I feel like these should have some more blue in them. Just adding a bit of blue. Back into the yellow, and I'm just going to fill all of them with that yellow. It's not the same as the picture, but I think it'll look nicer. Picture is pretty white, but I think I'd rather. And also the whole picture is just completely white around it, but I think I might even add some little bubbles, water bubbles, just because it's my painting and I can't tell that to you. But it won't take long to do the water bubbles. The yellow in there. Okay, get some of that yellow ochre and some brown. Lots of brown. I want a dark yellow ochre, and I'm gonna wipe my brush off a bit and get some in here. Some more of that darkness in here a bit. Make it darker here too because the shading under the arms. This makes sense. Okay. And maybe some more of that yellow in here. Yellow ochre is probably my favorite color of my water paint. And crimson red. There, getting near the end here. Bottom, some shading. And I think that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll do a little bit of shading in the bottom lines here. Bottom, some maybe I'm going too detailed now. Get nitpicky. There. Happy circles. Just some happy circles. There you go. And I'm going to get some light blue, and mix it in there. Light blue. And I'm going to flick my brush. Okay, get lots of water. Flick it down. Flicker. And flick. Kind of hurts the finger actually. I could totally take a pencil, watch. That's smarter. My blue. Make sure you be careful because it splashes everything. Get some up here very gently because I don't want it. Add some water. It's be really watery for you to do that. You make it a really light color. Different colors of water. Just adding my own touch on this painting, going right on the fin. This fin too. Now I want really big splashes, so I can get my bigger brush that holds more water, and that just gives bigger ones. There, I believe I am done. The turtles. Although I just decided I want this line here to be a bit more defined. And then I'm gonna sign my name in the bottom. V. Yes. And there we have her, little turtle. Good night.